Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Her Words Her Truth podcast. When I first started this podcast about a year ago, I did it because I needed kind of an outlet for when I was going through things, and I really didn't want to talk to anyone about it. I just wanted an outlet to be able to express how I felt, express different situations, but not be judged for how I felt at the time or, anything like that. So once again, I have another open and transparent moment. I like to come to you guys when I'm going through things sometimes because I feel it can help other people, who may be struggling with similar situations. Well, I'm going through a situation where I am trying to remain loyal to a situation, loyal to people. And what I'm coming to realize, as I'm getting older is that loyalty does not mean sacrificing your peace. It's loyalty should not cost you your peace. If you are so hell-bent on being loyal to someone because you told them you would be there for them and you told them that you would support them, that doesn't mean that you ignore your own feelings or ignore things that bother you and just let things go. Because you are who you are. There are things that you're not always going to like. There's always going to be things that you're not always going to agree with. And that doesn't mean that because you want to remain loyal to someone or want someone to see you, as someone that's got their back, that you should always overlook things and just, act like they don't bother you or just don't speak up about it. I've never been the type of person to just not speak up if I didn't agree with something. And so I found myself at a point where I want to remain true. I want to remain loyal, and I want the person to know that I got their back, regardless. But at the same time, I cannot do it, and you shouldn't do things at the expense of your peace. Your peace is all you got. Your peace, comes with your emotions, and it comes with, spiritually, your growth, everything. So if you don't feel at peace, you're constantly stressing out. You're constantly, worrying and just, not being in a good mindset. That's not healthy, because after a while, those things overtake you and those turn into physical complications and pains and sufferings, heart attacks, strokes, high blood pressure, all those different things that can harm you, that are bad on your body, bad physically, they wear on you physically. And so, part of being loyal is also being honest. So if you find yourself at a place where it's like, I want this person to know I'm here. I want this person to know I support them and I've got them. But I also need them to know that certain things don't sit right with me or certain things are affecting my well-being. At the end of the day, the only one who controls your well-being is yourself. You can know so many people in this world. You can deal and interact with everyone, have all these relationships and friendships and things like that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to your health and well-being, it is you. It is your body. It is your mind. It is your heart. So you have to come to an understanding with yourself that everything is not good for you. And if something's not good for you, you got to rid yourself of it or back off from it. So being loyal is a good thing. It is good to be loyal to other people. It is good to have loyal people around you, but never at the expense of your own peace and joy and happiness. You don't want to become bitter, because that's what will happen. You'll stick in this point where it's like, I'm being loyal. Well, as long as they know I'm here. And that sounds all well and good, but you also don't want to feel walked over. You don't want to feel taken advantage of during the course of that. Loyalty doesn't mean treat me like you want or take advantage of me because I said I'm here, I'm always going to be here. That doesn't mean call me every day. That doesn't mean, I should drop everything I'm doing because of another person. It doesn't mean that. It just means be honest to your word. Be honest that you said you would be there for the person. But at the same time, the other person or the other people have to also understand that you have your own life. You have your own paths to follow as well. So there are going to be times when you can't always be there for them. That doesn't mean you're any less loyal. It just means that at that point, you're giving self-care. You're loving on yourself. You're pouring into you, because you can't be there for anyone else if you don't pour into you. So just keep that in mind, that loyalty does not mean be loyal at the expense of other people or the expense of, your own peace. You have to put yourself first. You can't, like I say this all the time, you cannot be there for anyone else if you have not taken care of you first. And part of that has to do with your inner peace. If you are constantly in turmoil and struggles inside, and you're going through different, dark emotions, or just you're not always a happy person, and you have different things going on internally, how are you going to be there for anyone else? You can't pour and give to people what you don't have for yourself, So just keep that in mind. It's nothing wrong with being loyal. It's nothing wrong with expressing loyalty to other people, but not at the expense of you. Not at the expense of your well-being, your peace, and your health. So that's just a message that I felt like sharing with you all, because it was something that was on my heart that I'm, dealing with, and I felt that maybe other people would also take from it as well. Thanks again for tuning into Her Words, Her Truth podcast.